Imagine a universe so vast that everything you have ever seen is only a small fraction of what actually exists. Every star in the night sky, every planet, every galaxy, all of it combined, makes up less than 5% of the entire universe. Yeah, it sounds hard to believe, but it's true. Everything we can see, everything we can touch, everything we understand, is just a tiny piece of something much bigger. And if you really stop for a moment and think about that, it's kind of unsettling, because it means most of reality is hidden from us. So what about the rest? What exists in the darkness between galaxies, in the silent spaces, where nothing seems to be there? Scientists call it dark matter. Now here's the strange part. It doesn't glow, it doesn't reflect light, and it doesn't behave like anything we've ever known. You can't see it, you can't touch it, and honestly, you wouldn't even know it's there. But it is. Right now, as you sit here watching this, it's all around you, passing through your body, through the earth, through everything, completely unnoticed. No sound, no signal, no warning. And I know what you're thinking. How can something invisible possibly matter? That's the part that changes everything, because dark matter might actually be the thing holding the universe together. For a long time, scientists believed that what we could see was all there was. Stars, galaxies, planets. That was the universe. Simple. But the deeper we looked, the more things stopped making sense. Galaxies weren't behaving the way they should. Stars were moving too fast, too freely, as if something unseen was pulling on them. Something we couldn't detect, but couldn't ignore either. And that's when things started to change. Because the universe was hiding something. Something massive. Something invisible. Something that we are only just beginning. When scientists first began studying galaxies, they thought they understood how things worked. Gravity pulls everything inward. So naturally, stars closer to the center should move faster, and stars farther away should slow down. It's the same pattern we see in our own solar system. But when they actually observed distant galaxies, something didn't add up. Not even close. Stars at the outer edges were moving just as fast as the ones near the center. And that should have been impossible, because at those speeds, those stars should have been flung away, lost into the emptiness of space. But they weren't. They stayed exactly where they were, as if something unseen was holding them in place. The visible matter wasn't enough to explain what was happening. There had to be something else. Something invisible. Something massive. Something we couldn't detect directly. So scientists looked deeper. They measured the motion of galaxies, studied their structure, and every time, the result was the same. There was more gravity than there should have been. Way more. It was like the universe was hiding extra mass right in front of us. And the only way to explain it was to accept something uncomfortable. We were missing most of the picture. What we could see was only a small part of reality. The rest was invisible. And slowly, that invisible presence began to take shape in scientific thinking, not as a theory, but as something real, something that had to exist, because without it, none of this made sense. And that's when scientists gave it a name: dark matter. Dark matter doesn't shine. It doesn't glow. and it doesn't interact with light at all. But somehow, it shapes the entire universe. Think of it like this. Imagine building a house, but instead of visible walls, you have an invisible frame, holding everything together. That's what dark matter does. On a cosmic scale, it acts like a hidden structure, a framework, on which galaxies are built. Without it, everything would fall apart. Literally, stars would drift away, galaxies would lose their shape, and the universe would look completely different. And here's something even stranger. Dark matter surrounds galaxies, forming what scientists call a halo, an invisible halo, much larger than the galaxy itself. So while we see stars and light, what's really holding it all together is something we can't see at all. It's kind of mind-blowing when you think about it, because it means the visible universe is just the surface. The real structure is hidden underneath. And even though we can't see dark matter, we can see its effects everywhere. In the way galaxies spin, in the way they cluster together, in the way the universe itself has formed over billions of years. It's like seeing footprints without ever seeing the person who made them. You know something is there. You just can't see it directly. And that's what makes dark matter so fascinating and so frustrating at the same time. Because we know it exists, we can measure its influence, we can map its presence, but we still don't know what it actually is. For decades, scientists have been trying to figure out what dark matter really is. And honestly, it hasn't been easy. They've built massive detectors, deep underground, to block out noise from the outside world. They've launched experiments into space, searching for even the smallest signal. And still, nothing definitive. No direct detection, no clear answer, just clues. Some scientists believe dark matter is made of unknown particles, particles that barely interact with normal matter. They pass through everything without leaving a trace. Others think it could be something even more strange, something that doesn't fit into our current understanding of physics. And that's where it gets really interesting, because if dark matter is something completely new, then it means our understanding of the universe is incomplete, not just slightly wrong, but fundamentally limited. And that's a big deal, because science is built on understanding, on patterns, on rules. But dark matter doesn't follow those rules, at least not the ones we know. It exists, but it doesn't behave the way anything else does. And that leaves us with more questions than answers. What is it made of? How did it form? Why does it exist at all? These are questions that scientists around the world are still trying to answer. And maybe that's what makes this so exciting, because we're not just learning something new. Dark matter reminds us that the universe is far more complex than it appears at first glance. That what we see is not the full picture, not even close. There are forces out there, working silently, in the background, shaping everything, without ever being seen. And dark matter is one of the biggest of them all. It holds galaxies together, connects massive structures, and influences the evolution of the entire universe. And yet, we still can't see it. We can't touch it. We can't fully understand it. It just exists, quietly, everywhere. And maybe that's what makes it so powerful, because the most important things aren't always visible. Sometimes they're hidden. And when you really think about it, that idea goes beyond science. It's almost philosophical, because it makes you wonder what else might be out there that we simply haven't discovered yet. What else is shaping reality without us even knowing? The universe is full of mysteries, and dark matter is one of the biggest. A reminder that no matter how far we've come, we still have so much left to learn. And maybe that's the most beautiful part of all, because it means there's always more to explore, more to understand, more to discover. And somewhere out there, in the endless darkness of space, dark matter continues to exist, unchanged, unseen, and waiting for us to finally understand it.